Hello everyone, it's Haley. Usually on my channel you can find content related to amigurumi and crochet, craft fairs, markets, but today I'm doing something still crochet related but a little bit different. I'm going back to my roots and doing an accessory. When I was learning how to crochet when I was about 11 or 12, the first things I made were accessories. I would make purses and hats and clothes for my dolls, and this is really bringing me back to my inner child. If you don't know, I currently live in New Zealand, and here in New Zealand is this magical place called Hobbiton, and Hobbiton was a movie set for the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit films. My husband and I will be going there this weekend and I'm really excited, but I thought I needed an accessory to bring along. So let's get on with the video. I'm scrolling through Pinterest and I saw this crochet hobbit house bag and I thought I need to make one of those. Now I'm not gonna go buy a pattern. I'm gonna make my own. I have some leftover blanket yarn from my markets and I'm interested to see if it'll work out. First of all, we have the design. It is very just like, it's kind of a mess, but the idea is for it to be round, a cylindrical base, and that will be off-white. Of course, I'm going to include the door and then border on windows to make it truly look like a home. And then the top, to mimic the hobbit hole, will be a green dome shape. But the feature I'm excited about is that the dome will be able to be lifted up off of the purse. So in order for that to happen, I have to feed the strap through the dome and connect it to the cylinder. And that sounds complicated, but you'll see as we go. I literally wrote in my journal, hard to explain, but I was a little concerned that that wouldn't be secure enough for the bag. What if the lid just comes off and things fall out? So to combat that, I am going to make the cylinder a drawstring. So hopefully that will make the items more secure. And then my final requirement for this bag is that it must fit my phone, my wallet, my keys, and my chapstick. That would be nice if it could fit my Kindle, but then that would be getting pretty big. So as long as it fits those essential items, I think it'll be good. So yeah, let's get on to the crocheting. I have a little bit of a plan, but I'm just gonna do this as I go. First I gotta find the end of the yarn. That's at the beginning of every project, I guess. After the planning part, unless you skip the planning. I'm so confused. This has already been opened, so where is the end? Is this it? Or is this just the outside? Okay, oh, this was the end. I'm gonna start by finding my crochet hook because I don't know where I put that. I'm going to use this one. I've also been liking the color red lately, which I never thought I would say because I have always not liked red. Besides purple, it has been my least favorite color, and now I don't mind purple. I actually like some shades like periwinkle, which is more blue, but I like red a little bit now. I think I'm gonna start by doing a magic circle with 8 instead of 6. That way it's more flat. And if it's still too round, I'll do 16. And then keep increasing until I get the size I want. And then do, is it back loop? I'll see when I get there. And then just do the same up. But you'll see what I mean. This is the base, by the way. The main part of the purse. I can already tell this is too loose, so I'm gonna go up in hook size. No, down in hook size. Starting over. At least I realize this now and not halfway into the project. This is what I have so far. It looks like it might fit my phone, but let's check. Okay, it barely fits. I know it could also just fit standing up, so I'm wondering if I should go ahead and continue or just add another round to be safe. I think I'm gonna add another round to be safe. I decided to stick with that size because I was thinking it might kind of stretch or be a little bigger once I crocheted in the back loop, and I was right, so it fits pretty perfectly in there now. But I don't want it to really lay flat because I don't like when my stuff is just all kind of jumbled and not organized. So I think I'm gonna add a little shelf divider, I guess that's the right word, right in the middle. And that way there will be little sections so it could be more organized. I guess that's the good thing about making your own stuff. You can make it how you want. But I started off doing just single crochets around, but I'm thinking about changing to double crochets. I'll keep it like this is right now. I'll just continue from now with double crochets, and I wanted to make sure it was at least the height of my phone. That way it's opaque. Is that the word? Not see-through. That way any things that are in there won't like fall out, or it's not easy for people to see into it, which I'm not that concerned about. And I don't know how tall I will make it, at least double what it is now, and then maybe a few extra rows, that way it can cinch. Y'all, crocheting is hard work. I'm sweating so much. I almost forgot to do an update, but this turned out a lot bigger than I expected it to be. This is what it's kind of gonna look like cinched up. I couldn't tell if I needed to add another row or not, but then I added another row and didn't like it, so I frogged it. But I'm wondering if I should just make it a backpack, because it might be fine as a crossbody, but or maybe I can figure out how to make it, what is it called, where you can change it from a crossbody to a backpack, but I don't know how I would do that. I'm thinking maybe, so as this is an example, do a big loop. It's gonna be hard to explain. This would be the strap, and then make a little loop right here, like a little tie. So I could tie this down. That would be connected to the bottom, and then it would be two straps. I'll show you if I end up doing it. That's kind of confusing to say, but I'm making the strap now, and I'll update you when the strap is done. I've made the strap, and how I'm going to make it interchangeable is I'm going to make a little loop at the bottom here. It'll be kind of like this, or you can tie, it's hard to show, you can tie the strap down to here so that it is two loops, and then if you want it to be a crossbody, untie it, and then I'm gonna try it on. I just have stitch markers holding everything in place right now before I sew anything down. See, it has straps. I'm trying it on. It is pretty snug, especially since I decided to put the straps inside. That's what it looks like right now. I think I will make it longer, especially if I decide to wear this in the winter, then or wear a jacket at all, then I would have no room. I can't decide if I want the straps to go on the outside or the inside. I think since it's a drawstring, it might be kind of weird if the straps are on the inside, but this is what I mean by the outside versus the inside. See, the strap, do I want it attached on the inside? Or do I want it attached like out here? See, it looks cleaner when it's attached on the inside, but this one is like folded over because I didn't really think that through. So it's just crocheted onto the top, which maybe I'll just do that on this one to make it even, so I don't have to worry about that. But if I release this as a pattern, I'll make adjustments to that. I'll try it on this way now. That should have added a bunch of room. Okay, it fits a lot better like this. Now, I will have some room if I decide to wear a jacket, but it won't be very much. And I don't want it sagging, so I think I'll keep it like this. I probably could fix it later if I decide it's too short, but that would be kind of more difficult. Let's make this as adjustable as I can. So let's add a few more inches to this strap, and I could make this go inside and add a button so that it's adjustable that way. But I might not do that for this one actually, because I only have 2 buttons and I'm saving them for something special. One of them is for this bag, but I know as a kid when I tried to make buttons for purses or closures, I just made crochet flowers. Let's add some length to this. I'm actually curious to see as a crossbody where it lands. That's kind of low. Do I want it to be more adjustable? Because if I wear it as a crossbody, I'd want it to be more like this. We'll see. I'll let you know what I decide. Are you ready to see the straps? Technically strap. Okay, so this is it. It's very long, but let me show you what I have so far to turn into a backpack. I made these 2 little chains, or I guess not so little chains, 3 stitches apart because that is how wide my strap is. And if I can, let's see if I can demonstrate. So make sure that it's straight, not twisted. It's easier to do not on camera, but you stick it through here and then lay this down flat, tie a bow, and now it has straps like a backpack. And I was concerned that it would be too bulky because I don't like when I have something that's hard in my backpack and it's like pushing against my back. But this is soft and it's like, even though it's a knot, I think it's low enough that I wouldn't feel it. I tried it on and it was fine. And then you just put it on like a backpack. Nice. Okay, the straps are kind of not staying up, so I might need to change the position next time. But I'm thinking you could also adjust the length if you wanted with this. If you put it through the stitches like this, since it's vertical instead of horizontal, it might not be ideal. But let's see how this goes. I'm literally just thinking this on the spot. So I have the little chains through here. So now tie it together. This is gonna make it a little uneven, but I can figure it out later. Okay, that made it a lot more snug, so it won't, not as likely to fall off. It also might be better when it's cinched. Yeah, it'll be better when it's cinched closed. But yeah, I'm proud of that idea that I came up with. And I think I'll do something similar on the inside so that I can just fold it down and tie it. Let's do it with this test piece of yarn. So it'll be the same concept. I mean, obviously I'll turn this into a chain, but fold this down. That way it's not bulky on the inside. I mean on the outside. You'll fold it to the inside, and this time it'll go through the stitches so that it'll stay in place and not like slide around. And if you want to wear it as a purse, you can just tie it in a little bow and it can be a cute detail. Well, it'll that's if you don't have a pattern on the other side, which I will, but if you just want it to be plain one day, it's just a cute little bow. Okay, let me get back to what I was doing. Let's try this on. I want it to be here, so I'll take this slack and tuck it in the purse. Feed this through. It probably would have been easier if I had left holes for it, but so I fed it through. It's really hard to show on camera. Then you tie a little knot. And I'd probably make it further down so it's more hidden. But I think it'll be fine, especially when it's cinched. It'll cover it up more. It looks a little awkward now. That looks kind of weird, but we'll figure it out. Maybe I can do multiple little straps. I think I'll deal with that tomorrow though. And I think this is a good stopping point. So I have the base pretty much done. I do need to add my little compartments. I think I'll just do one compartment and, well, 2 compartments, 1 divider. And then I also have to do the, oh no. I just realized I was supposed to leave this part open so that I could put the little dome through. Well, I'm gonna have to find the end. Good thing I didn't weave in the ends all the way. Well, hopefully that's not too difficult to undo. But yeah, I'll check in with you tomorrow. Hello, it is day 2 of crocheting this Hobbit bag. Hobbit hole bag to be specific. I created a drawstring and I chained 90. I started out with 100 and then put it through, making sure not to secure it too tightly, and it was too long, so I frogged 10 stitches. I started tying it without showing you. It is kind of hard to cinch just because this material is so thick, but this is what it's like uncinched. And I did start off with white, but I decided I wanted a little bit more of a pop of color. So what I realized is better, it's not as convenient, but what I need to do is cinch it one at a time instead of just starting off with the tying. And if it's not closed all the way, it's okay because it's gonna have the little top on it. So tie it in a bow. But this is bothering me because how are you gonna see the Hobbit door? I'm thinking I should have made this taller and all with single crochet because it's too floppy. I need it to be more of a cylinder. So I'm wondering if the drawstring was a bad idea. I don't know. But I could always tuck the string in and then you could see the door better. And I've begun making the grass dome. This is more of a cone shape. This definitely needs to be taller, but it does fit my water bottle in it. So I can bring this to Hobbiton with my water bottle, cinch it up. Okay, that's easier to cinch since it was already partly cinched. It does stick up a little bit, but it's fine because we have the adjustable top. And now it just looks like a mushroom. But also, the one flaw that I have made so far, well, the biggest flaw I have made so far, I've made quite a few flaws, just haven't shown them all on camera, is I sewed down the straps. I was supposed to leave one open, and I was also supposed to leave little slits for the straps to go through, and I forgot to do that. Thankfully, this is all double crocheted, so there's some gaps in. I did weave in the ends. Let's see if I can unweave them. Thankfully, I didn't hide them in all the way. I just did it to secure it. I'm glad, or else we would be in a pickle, and I would have no way of attaching this. We're getting there slowly but surely. I'm thankful that this is not chenille yarn and this is instead Bernat, because then I don't have everything falling apart. Okay, I think we're in the last stretch. Okay, let me get a stitch marker, if I can find one, so that I can mark my spot. Oh, let's do a test. I know I just took out a needle instead of a stitch marker. Before I take the strap off, let's test and see if it's better at staying on. After cinching it, they should be closer together. So let's convert this back into a backpack. I think this is good. It is a bit loose, but I wanted it to be loose in case I wear a jacket or something. I'm about to go into winter. I'm in summer, but I'm about to go to Pennsylvania and it's gonna be cold. Now to unravel. Oh, stitch marker. That is such a nice sound. Does anyone else like that sound? I mean, I don't know if you have one of these, but I just like it. And I got this from Hobby Lobby, in case you are wondering. First I have to finish this. I decided to do the grass part with a bigger hook. I should have made it a little rounder, but I think it's okay, especially if you want to turn this into a mushroom. But I'm gonna do a little scalloped edge around the side because I thought it needed a little something extra. So if you don't know how to do this, what I'm doing is double crochet, chain one, slip stitch in the next stitch, chain one, double crochet in the next stitch, chain one, slip stitch in the next stitch, chain one. The same pattern is repeated until you get to the end of the round. Let's see if we can do a fun transition. And here it is. Here is the scalloped edge. I really like it. It looks more like whimsical. It kind of reminds me of like a little like sprite or fairy hat, but I still have to sew in, weave in the ends. That is my least favorite part. I love amigurumi because you don't really have to weave in the ends, or at least the process is easier. I just stick it inside the plushie. But with this, you have to make sure that it is undetectable. And it's just, I like tedious things sometimes, but this is not one of those things. I feel like I have grown away from liking tedious things. Maybe that's come with being less of a perfectionist as I get older. So I guess it's a good thing because that used to torment me. That might sound dramatic, but it was true. I cared way too much about things that didn't matter. Like, caring is a good thing, but you have to have balance in life. You can only pour your energy into so many things. And that is how burnout happens. Part of the reason is giving your energy to too many things, especially things that you don't want to do. Now, everyone has to do things they don't want to do in life, but if that's all you're doing, then you're on the straight road to burnout. So what I do to avoid burnout after experiencing extreme burnout last year, 2 years ago, what I do to prevent it is whenever I start feeling it coming, I just switch things up. So if I'm in market prep mode, I make sure to make a project that I really want to do because I get tired of making chickens and bees and axolotls all the time. So you have to find balance, and it is difficult. It takes practice for sure. Okay, and then I'm gonna secure. I basically wove all the way to the point. I'm gonna tie this in a knot. And I probably would weave this in even more if this was for someone else, but it's just for me, and you're not gonna see it. Like, it's underneath. So I'm just gonna find my little clips. Now, let's see if this works. So, oh, I gotta untie my little bow I made. Which side do I want to be the front? This is definitely the front. So I'll fold this in half, and then fold it in half again, and find the middle. This is about the middle. You can get more technical than that if you want. I just realized that I forgot to make slits for this to go through, but I think it will still be okay. Yeah, that's still fine. Let me cinch this closed so that I can get a better idea of how this is gonna sit. Let's put my water bottle in. I just put it through there. You were asking how I was going to close it up. I forgot to mark halfway on the other side, but it's okay. Wow. I have to make sure this is exactly how I want it, because now I'm about to sew it closed. Yay. I think this is fine. So now we'll sew it closed, or I guess crochet it closed. I don't want to sew it. It's easier just to crochet things together. I have to uncinch it to do that. I also have to make sure this is not twisted in any way, or else that will drive me crazy. Okay. Boom. Okay, that's good. I'm trying to figure out how to do this now that I have the cinch in here. Okay, ends are woven in. The moment of truth before we get to the hobbit-ifying. Just made up that word. Okay, so it's cinched in this. And voila. Looks nice. I still have to figure out the adjustable thing for if I want to make it a crossbody. It still works as a crossbody, it's just very long. An easy fix for that could just be tying a knot, but that if you want to keep changing it from a backpack to a crossbody, that could be not like that, but that could be too strenuous on the yarn. It might stretch it a lot. I think I'm going to do something similar to what I did to turn it into a backpack and make some little chains to tie it in place on the inside, but I don't really care about that for now because I mainly just want to use it as a backpack. So let's turn it into a backpack and see if this all comes together. Make sure it's even. Okay. I'm excited to follow Jesus. Oh, I have decided. All right, the grand reveal. How does it look? I cannot see. I think it works. Weaving it into the top did make it slightly tighter, so that did help with my looseness situation. It's so cool. I can't believe I did this. It's really bringing me back to childhood when I used to design stuff, and I would make purses for my friends and clothes for my dolls. Now I have to put on the little hobbit hole details. I did want to crochet the door, but the only yarn I have is a lime green, and I do have this embroidery floss in 3 different greens. I don't know if this will be enough. For reference, this little gingerbread bookmark guy took up pretty much a whole one of these. So if I pretend to fasten it into a circle and compare, I don't think that'll be big enough. So I might join them together. I think that would be cool. It would add dimension. It's not gonna look exactly like Bilbo's Hobbit house, but it's inspiration. It's not direct copy paste. So I think I'm going to add all 3 of these together to make like a bigger strand, and then hopefully that turns out fine. Let me show you what I plan on doing. I'll just line them up like this. Magic circle is going to be interesting. They're all 3 lined up. I don't know what size hook I will need. I don't remember what I was using for those bookmarks, but let's try 3.5mm. I have not crocheted with one of these in a while. I did with this bookmark, but I mostly crochet plushies with blanket yarn, so I usually use bigger hooks like size 5 or 6. I used to do, what's the word? Why am I blanking on what this is called? Like the worsted weight yarn. I didn't start with chenille and blanket yarn, so I do have experience working with smaller hook sizes, but it's just been a while and it really tires out your hands fast. We're attempting the magic ring. Oh, this is complicated because like I'm trying to, there's too many strands. No, I missed one. We have the ground set, the base set, foundation. I don't know what words I'm trying to use. Okay, 1, 2. I think it would have been cool to use a variegated yarn for the top since it's supposed to be like grass, but I didn't. So I like that I can add dimension this way. All right, the moment of truth. Yes, it worked. Let me find my stitch marker again. This is not the stitch marker I had, but it's exactly where I placed it, so hopefully I didn't lose it. I found my new hyperfixation bunnies. I don't know when I would actually be able to get a bunny, but I've been doing research. I actually did research on them when I was maybe in middle school or early high school. I had a notebook that I made all about rabbits and how to take care of them, their behaviors, their habitats, their food, their everything. And I still have that notebook somewhere, so maybe I'll use it as a reference. But I just really love research. That's what I like about my second channel, is that I'm able to do more researched topics. This channel is based on crochet and crafts and things like that. But my other channel is more focused on biblical content, theology, living for Jesus. So if you're interested in that, that's what that's about. But I just love researching the Bible. It's one of my special interests. It can be for everyone, but I know not everyone is interested in that. So I think it's nice to have a separate channel because I like channels that I know I can just go for like comfort, crochet along. And I don't want to hide my faith because like it's gonna come through and everything. Even if I have a separate channel that's more centered on faith-based content, it's still gonna come through here because that's part of my identity. It's my main identity as a child of God. For God so loved the world, he gave his only son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. If you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. And that is what my whole life is based on. So that's gonna shine through. Ooh, this is really pretty. That's what we have going so far. And I feel like if this was like a piece of wood, it would have some different textures and things going on too. So that can kind of mimic that, some nature inspired things into this project. I'm gonna continue on with this and then update you when it's finished. I finished the door and decided to add a brown border to make like the door frame. It reminds me of a kiwi a little bit. But I did give it a little bit of a stretch because it was kind of doming a little bit. I know this is what blocking is for. Is that what it's called, blocking? But I don't really know how I would do that. I don't ever block things. I make amigurumi. That little thing is loose. Maybe I can fix it when I sew it down. I don't like how these colors go together, but I think it's fine. And let me see if I can find my little buttons. At the last market I ended at, they had handmade buttons for 50 cents. So I got, oh, this would tie in with the roof a lot better. I got this button as the doorknob. It is kind of big, but I think it's fine. I was thinking about making it where you could open and close the door, but I forgot to make a spot for that. I don't think I'm gonna make windows. That's kind of a lot for right now. But I'm gonna sew the button onto the door and then the door onto the back. And I'll be back. Here's the button and I get to sew it on to the back. Here it is with the door. I think it looks nice, but these need to be shorter. It blocks the door, which is the main part of the bag. The main feature that I want to display. Should I just try tucking in? I don't know. I already tried that and it didn't go so well. I mean, like that it's fine. So, it looks nice. I still don't really like this combo of like, this is misty green, and these greens. I feel like these are more warm shades and brighter shades, and this is a more like muted, maybe cooler tone. I don't know, but I also liked how there's like more golden yellowy greens that tie in with the doorknob. I think that looks nice. But the more I look at it, the better I like it. But I think it's really cool. And I'm not gonna add the windows, but I think you still get the idea of what it is. I also like how the door frame is a little bit raised from the rest of it. And I did that by just embroidering around the green and not the brown. So this is the final result. I decided against adding the compartment because I'm going to have my water bottle in it, so that would be a little tight of a squeeze, but maybe in the future if I decide to do this again. Oh, I almost forgot the most important test. We have to see what can fit in here. So like I said, water bottle. And my phone has, I think I have the iPhone 14 and it has this wallet case on it, so phone. I don't know where my little keys went, but I'll put a scrunchie and a hand sanitizer in there to replace them. And then let's see if the wallet fits too. It all fits. I hope it's not too heavy though. And the little top. Hold on, let's tuck this part in. It does weigh it down quite a bit, but I think I'm just going to tie a knot in the top if I choose to wear it as a crossbody, like this, and then convert it back into a backpack. I don't have to do this every time I put stuff in there, but I just had it as a purse to show Hayden. But it is pretty quick if you want to just switch. And it's nice. And since there's more stuff in there, I feel like it's not going to fall off. Yeah, here's the final. This is such an awkward way to show it. The final result. Stay tuned to see me wearing it in Hobbiton. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more crochet content from me. I really want to start getting more into clothing and accessories. I do still plan on doing amigurumi for markets and things, but I do want to make some personal items for myself as well. So if that interests you, make sure to subscribe and stay creative.